is how I make perfect wooden picture frames. All right, let's make some sawdust.
So I'm going to start with a piece of cherry wood that I will cut down into strips for the frame. I'm just measuring out the distance that I want my strips to be. So here I'm cutting them down, and I reach over the blade, which is really unsafe and you shouldn't do that. And now I'm setting up how high the depth for the rabbets. And I reach over the blade again. I'm hoping that making these videos will make me a better woodworker, safer, as well as just getting better at making these videos. But I was able to get the rabbits cut. Now I will get out my picture frame jig that I learned how to make over at Dave Pisciuto's YouTube channel called Make Something. I'll link to it down below. It's really cool. It has a stop, so you can set the length of each picture frame piece, and so that they'll all be consistent. In this case, I'm making a 4x4 frame, and it measures it from the inside of the rabbit. So it always gives you a perfect 45 and a perfect fit. And you're able to make all your pieces to your frame. So you take your 4 pieces, glue them up. First, I like to put a little bit of glue, since this is an end grain glue up. I put a little bit on there, real thin, kind of let it dry and get tacky. It soaks into the wood. And then come back and put another more liberal layer of glue on to actually do some of the more bonding of the wood pieces. So once you have them all together, I used the tape method to clamp them together, just some blue painter's tape. Now I'm going to change my blade out to a dado. This is a flat bottom. It's about a 1/4 inch thick. It's just one of the dado blades. Got to remove the riving knife. And I'm going to use the spline jig, also found on Make Something, to cut splines into these frames. There were a lot of frames, so a lot of cutting. A lot of cutting. Now I'm cutting the spline down. This actually took me more than one try, but I eventually got it. Nice tight fit. Now I'm going to go over to the bandsaw and cut the splines down so that I can fit them into the corners of the frame. And here's where I realized I wasn't recording the glue up of the splines.
Cool. I didn't record any of that.
Then I used my flush trim saw to cut the splines down. Wasn't actually all that successful with it. I ended up going back to the bandsaw to cut them down. The little sanding on the face, and then on the edges to flush out the splines to the frames. And I cut the backs to the picture frames. When I was doing a test fit, I realized it didn't fit in there quite as well as I wanted on all the frames, because there was a little ledge in the rabbit, because I wasn't using a flat bottom blade. So I used my chisel and just flattened it out. I was able to get it to fit nice and tight. So now that I have that all nice pressure fitted in there, it's a pressure fit for the back and the glass. I went over to my crosscut sled where I set up stop blocks to make a dado for the stand to pressure fit into, just so that the picture can lean back a little bit and not sit at 90 degrees. And with that, I was able to apply some finish to it, just some paste wax, a real simple finish to it. I made these frames as Christmas presents for my partner's family. This last year, Megan lost her father. Dick was a kind, loving man who embodied the meaning of family as a father, husband, brother, and friend. During this process, I was able to reflect on the importance of Dick to each family member. I put pictures of each family member and Dick in the individual frames. I only knew Dick for a short time. We immediately bonded over our shared love of his daughter. Creating these frames was cathartic for me, part of my own personal grieving process. One of the best things of woodworking is the time of quiet reflection among all the noise and sawdust. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to make more soon and get better at this.